Hello, everyone. Welcome to the JHS show live. It's not Thanksgiving yet. I was trying to think of a cool intro. Was that pretty good, Joshua?
No, not at all.
It is.
But you tried.
It's November 16th, and this day in history, something happened.
Do you know what happened?
Things happened.
Okay.
They always happen every day.
We could
every
Google
day
it.
of our lives is another chance to do.
Speaking of things happening, I started watching Ancient Apocalypse with Graham Hancock on.
Yeah.
That's what he did over lunch.
Unironically, the technologically advanced ancient civilizations is my conspiracy theory. That's the one I buy into. Anyway, I'm not sure.
I don't want to derail this show, but I don't feel like that's much of a conspiracy. I feel like it's just known that something went down.
The cataclysm happened on this date.
Okay, cool. Well, Nick's not here. He went on a vacation.
Much needed.
He's been here for 12 to 15 years, and I decided, Nick, go be with your family. I thought, that's a good number of years, right?
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Is this his sabbatical?
He's taken like almost a month. I'm proud of him. He left too. They were on a plane so fast. So Driller, you're here where Addison's usually at, playing that fine bass. And Addison, you're on the drums.
Yeah.
Katie's over here hiding, switching. She's listening to Dave Matthews currently as she switches. And we have a special guest that I have not seen in 2 years of a pandemic and 3 years. It's almost 3 years, I think. It's insane. David Rainger, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, Josh. It's really good to be with you all.
I'm so pumped that you're on here. You're in London still, I'm assuming.
That's right.
Yeah. The last time I was with you, we filmed that. We romped around Denmark Street. You remember that?
Oh, I do, yeah. In all the weird little shops and everything.
Yeah, I think it's... we did an episode. I don't know what it's called. It's something about... It might have only been Patreon.
It was only Patreon.
Whatever.
Yep.
We might make that live. Anyway, it's so great to be here with you. You have new pedals. And I've wanted to get you back on the show for so long. And this live format is like super fun over Zoom. So let's look down at the pedal board here. I have all the goodies and the newies.
You have more than me.
I have more of your pedals than you.
Yeah.
These are brand new, and then we have is this just new to me? Because I had the old version. Is this a new release, or is this like an update that I just didn't have?
It's an update, really.
Okay.
But it has a gate on it that the previous one didn't, but it has all the other stuff, all the Igor acrobatics and that kind of thing.
There's so many exciting things here. There's, the Dr. Freakenstein. I mean, you made a pedal.
That's great seeing that.
Look at this. Look at this. And then
Man, I love
it.
that
You
pedal.
got, it's just because you can do it. Sometimes you do it because you can.
Is the latch the main power?
It's like a master power.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the pedal's on, but no. Got to turn it on with the lever. It's a Frankenstein. This morphed into the Bleep, something like that.
That's right.
Okay. Well,
That's right, yeah.
the Bleep is
Via a whole bunch of different steps, but there's been about, I don't know, at least 8 versions of the Frankenstein in different formats.
It's amazing.
But the Bleep is the most recent, I believe.
Yeah. So the goal here is to hang out with you for an hour. We'll do a Q&A for you. So while we're on Joshua,
Got it.
let's gather some good questions. But let's jump right in. What are you excited about, David? Let's go for it. You sent me the 2 new pedals, yeah.
Yeah, the most recent one is the Break Box, which is the pink one there with the small turntable pad on it.
Yep.
Which is basically it's a full-on distortion pedal, full range with loads of lows and top end and everything like that. Lots of mids as well. It's not scooped really, and it has active sustain, I call it, which is a chorus signal that fades in when you hold a note or a chord for longer than a second. And it fades in like a wave underneath you because there's a slight volume increase, and it's sort of it's exciting and kind of pulls you forward in this churning sort of backdrop. And it has a record scratch.
So can I start interrogating you about one of the things I love most about you? It's these enclosures. Where are you getting these? Like, this is shaped like a broken cheese wedge or something. And then like this thing is crazy.
Yeah, I know it'll upset some people's OCD, but
yeah,
we work with this really great metalwork company just nearby. The main guy there is a guitar player, like buys guitars every week. So he gets what we're doing and he humors me with my funny little sketches of odd shaped bits of metal and stuff.
So you found the person that can go into your mind and make it work. All the sketches.
Kind of. Yeah. So he sort of drops by with a prototype and I go, oh, can you move that like third of a millimeter and this one down, blah, 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 on like this, and he does it. And it means that we can end up with these enclosures that we can do asymmetrical stuff and all kinds of things. And so we do just because we can.
There is no one even close to you in the halls of pedal history. Since the first pedal of 1962 to the current day, almost 2023, no one gets as close to you with insanity of how a pedal mechanically is built, functions, looks, features like levers, crazy shapes, putting liquid in your overdrive, scratch pads. Like
I think
you're the Igors. Like you're the master of what can I do to just do it.
Yeah, the Igors are fun. I mean, I didn't want to. I like to be able to control things while I'm playing, and carrying expression pedals around is just a drag, So the Igor is light and tiny, and I think our basic attitude is to not take things for granted. That because it's always been done a certain way, is that the way you have to carry on, And sometimes there's another way of doing it, and sometimes it's rubbish, and sometimes it's truly great. And so that's what we're about, trying to push the envelope and trying to do something.
You're the master of just doing going into the unknown. So like if no one's ever seen the Igor, let's look here. You basically came up. I remember talking to you about this. You found this little sensor and you made this thing called the Igor. It's a little flat, super small pad. I mean, it's like an American silver dollar. Yeah, it's like half an Oreo. That's a better, yeah. It plugs in with a little 1/8" cable. And so like, here's your delay, the Echo X. So if I have this at my feet, it's an expression of different, you can make it do different things, but you have this incredibly smart system. Yeah, it's just that's a piece of just some of these great features that you've come up with, and so I'm pumped to try this break box. You want to jump right into the break box?
Yeah.
You gave me the 60-second, and then you told everybody what it was, and also a black foot switch.
Oh yeah,
this is like,
isn't that tasty?
It's amazing.
I thought we got to have the whole thing just black and pink.
It's
if you can.
Like you went all the way. You weren't gonna have a silver foot switch.
No, because you can get these black ones. I mean, we bought a load of silver ones, and we got them painted, sprayed black.
Yeah.
They looked great. This matte black foot switch.
Yeah.
But they were just rock solid. You couldn't do anything with it, so it was all wasted.
All right.
But now you can get ones that actually look kind of black, like born black.
I'm gonna turn.
And they're great.
I'm gonna turn the break box on. All right. So we talked about the distortion here. What can people expect? What does this feel like?
Well, it's based on our usual overdrive that we've used in various things, like the El Distorter you got there.
Okay.
Which is great, a good overdrive, an op-amp based thing, but we paired it up with the back half of the Freakenbender circuit that we did for the tone bender circuit that we did for the Freakenbender, for color sound, and that kind of amps it up to a whole other level, and it goes very, very intense gain.
It was behind me.
I thought it just paired it well with it. There it is. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
And I really like the pairing of the high gain distortion with a record scratch thing. I thought that's an interesting mix. And then this chorus effect as an idea I had knocking around for a while, a delayed chorus. And I really like it because when you play a lot of notes or a lot of chords, it's just a good sounding distortion. It's really tight and present and in your face. Hold a note though, or a chord, and it's suddenly when the chorus comes in, there's like an ambient aspect to it. It suddenly turns into a room a little bit. And so you're mixing yourself in 3D, I imagine it to be.
Let me play through here. So we have this gating thing happening, which is nice. Now, this chorus speed, I'm going to turn the knob here. It turns on in just a few seconds after a note or a chord is held. So
that's right. So play a big chord or a big note,
so
and you'll
cool.
hear it fade in.
Big E minor with a fast chorus speed coming on the back end of it, like a wave. That is so cool. So you have a detector in here or something.
Yeah, it knows when you stop playing, and it fades up this thing. So, you know, I mean, I want to use it at the end of the set as the band leave the stage and the feedback is howling with the break box, just like you know, running away. But it's great. It reminds me, when I like it slow chorus speed, and it reminds me of like Jane's Addiction and Smashing Pumpkins and all that good stuff, you know. And then you turn it up a bit, and it's Cocteau Twins, and a bit more, and it just has all these kind of flavors.
And now we have
remind me of great stuff.
We have this image of a turntable, which lets me know something's going to get scratchy. All right, so talk to me about what I can do with this, and then we're going to.
Well, it's designed to be on the floor for you playing it for real. So that's a switch where you lean on it, a momentary switch, and you lean on it, and it converts your guitar into a trigger for the scratch sound.
Okay.
So it's not like you press it and you get a scratch. It's like you hold it down and go, you know, you release it at the end, kind of thing.
So
that's the idea.
Yeah. I'm going to hold it down with my finger. I may have Joshua come over and be my DJ. So I'm just picking an open B note.
Yeah.
And then the pitch slows or speeds that up, I guess.
Yeah, so put it really slow.
I just, like, who does this?
That's so sick.
It's amazing. I know.
This is all one box.
It's all one box. And so, like, I'm going to put some delay with it. Like, watch how crazy, you know, you start stacking this stuff, and it's like. So basically the guitar, so let's go to my camera so they can see. It's an input trigger. It turns, when I'm holding it down, it's not really.
It changes your guitar to being just a trigger. Exactly, you're right.
It's not about the notes I'm playing. It's just the
so I damp the strings and go waka 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 waka. I damp the strings and then you get the short one.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter.
Play a long note. And you play a long note and you should hear the coming up bit.
Whoa! Hold on. Does Tom Morello have this? Because I'm going to mail him one.
He needs one.
Rage Against the Machine.
I don't know.
Let's do a jam with this. Yeah. So I'm going to have the Echo X on. And I'm just going to... Let's do something around that beat.
Cool.
So this scratching sound, it's an idea that came from the snare trap, the white pedal next to it.
Okay.
And we thought, well, let's use that way of adjusting it and do it automatically. And so it's generated inside the pedal. It's not a sample. And we made sure that there was a random kind of fluctuation of the pitch of it, just so it would sound a little bit more human and less like just re-triggering a sample over and over.
It's a synthesized sound. Like even so in the snare trap when we go there, it's a snare synth, essentially.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's all internally generated. And the break boss as well. There's an actual gate across the whole distorted sound.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of gain there, and you can have a lot of hum and all that kind of stuff when you're not playing, and it just shuts it all down.
So we're gonna. Is it okay if I give the old Echo effects away to someone? Because I have two.
As long
now.
as it's to someone really nice.
All right. We'll do that after this jam. I don't know how. Joshua will figure that out. So let's jam, take our time on the break box, and I'm just going to explore with it. We'll turn our mics off for the drum sound. Ready? We good? Accidental James Bond thing. Yeah. Or like Limp Bizkit, I can't really determine. Amazing. That's like such a fun pedal.
You guys have fun jobs.
We do.
Jeez.
We sure
We have
do.
super fun jobs at 3 p.m.
Hey, Kevin,
Yeah.
Katie, give me a number. Just any number. 29. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Ex Libris. Ooh, that's perfect for me.
And it's an Echo X.
Ex Libris says, I am
Whoa.
a very nice bass player and I want to see what this sounds like with some low end.
Yes.
So
Yes.
please,
It'd be killer on bass.
Ex
Dude.
Libris, please email me at the JHS show at jhspedals.com. Send me your, what's it called?
Your email address? Your shipping
Mailing
address?
address.
Mailing
Yeah,
address.
yeah,
Send us your digits. Yeah, this is killer. We're also
So
going to give
fun.
away a box of Ernie Ball strings later. But this pedal, it's like the kind of thing where I always want the board with like all the weird stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I feel like Nick, I'm going to have to keep this out when he comes back from
Yeah.
vacation.
He'll make something with it. Well,
It's incredible.
The thing that I was thinking about too is that it actually does it does crazy things, but it does normal things too.
Yeah,
it does awesome distortion.
Like
that's so
straight
cool.
ahead, like he was saying, the Pumpkins or Jane's Addiction thing. If I like, even as a low gain distortion, like check out how good this is. And then it's like fading in
That's so
modulation. Heavy distortion is cool too. It's just wonderful. Okay. I want to.
Thank you.
If you're watching this and you're not buying the break box,
What are you even
you
doing?
need to sell all your gear. This is such a cool pedal.
That's all you need.
I want to hear it on like other things too.
Yeah.
And at my feet, there's this obvious like interaction that he designed it for.
Yep.
I feel like I did pretty good with like the, you know,
It's
I was
pretty great with a drum machine into it.
Oh, that would be wild. Yeah. All right, let's talk snare trap.
Yeah, the snare trap. I was thinking about this. Josh, have you ever heard of the term feature creep?
Oh yeah,
Feature creep.
It's my biggest enemy.
Yeah, well, this is the king of feature creep. This was a thing that I thought, you know what, a white noise burst with a bit of echo, a bit of modulated echo, that would be great. And a useful thing, dead simple to make, but it would be kind of fun, you know. And so I made this, and this was during the pandemic. And gradually, I thought, you know what, let's put a tap tempo in it. With the deep space pulsar, we have a tap tempo unit that's really good. So, and I could make a snare out of the white noise, couldn't we? You know, and it went on and on like this. And we added a hi-hat, and we made a bass drum, and to be able to move things about and do things with it. And it basically turned into this little drum machine that goes on your pedal board or on a desktop.
Yeah.
And I thought, are people going to like this? I mean, don't people just want guitar pedals? This is like a drum machine, you know.
Right.
But I'm thinking of it like a kind of rhythmic sketch pad, and you can control it all with your feet if you're in a rehearsal.
Yeah.
And the drum hasn't turned up, which can happen. So you just start playing the beat like that, and adjust you can set the echo to be the right sort of ghost strokes on the snare, and it does a whole bunch of like shortcuts to get you having a beat to play along to, or to filter, or to do weird stuff with it.
So I'm a
fun.
solid 1 minute into walking through this with you. Let's see what I can do, and then you help me. So we'll do the camera down on this. All right, so I'm gonna get a tempo going on this pad. So, all right, it was that easy. If I want to stop it, I just hold it. All right, so let's do it again. All right, so the snare is on the
2 and the 4 always,
and I have
so the delay can you move that about, and you can add the little kind of feel, ghost strokes, all that stuff on the snare. And the first bass drum is always on the 1, as Bootsy himself commanded, and the second bass drum you can move around with a pot. So it's kind of a weird idea.
So where is the bass drum? Is that this is hi-hats?
That next to it, that's the hi-hat. It turns it from 8s down to an offbeat 4s, like a kind of clubby in between thing.
Okay. How do I? Is there a volume for the bass drum, or is it all kind of pre-mix?
It's pre-mixed.
Okay, that's great.
An
I
overall
hear it. Yeah.
volume. And the snare has a kind of wet and a dry sound, and you can thicken it out like a kind of hand clap thing, I imagine it. And a low pass filter to roll it down, you know, like some cool DJ, you know.
All right.
And meanwhile, you can switch the main pad back to being the white noise trigger, which was the original idea, to do whooshes or fills or whatever you think like that. And then you plug your guitar into it, and it has a side chainer, so you're side chaining in tempo with the beats, which is really fun. So in a really quick and easy way, you can get a groove going that keeps you playing, which is what it's all about, really.
It's insane. So I'm going to turn it back on and I'm going to turn the echoes off and walk people through it in like real time. So the snare shape and stuff. So, okay. So snare shape is fun. So essentially, you're adjusting the synthesized snare. So you can do, there's that. Then you have a snare delay with feedback, rate, and send. Now, send, we'll have to get into this in a minute. It's the side chaining stuff you do is super cool. But so
it goes into oscillation in a nice way. You know, you can have all that kind of stuff happening. I always think of the send. I think of it as like on a mixing desk. You know, you might want to send one note or one beat to the echo, and you just flash up the send knob and back down, and it'll grab it and go on its own with it.
So then you have an instrument or beats mix knob. So if I go all the way to instrument, and then you can go all the way beats. So yeah, I mean, it's very easy to use in that regard. And you can audio went away, audio came back. You can obviously use this cutoff as a really cool tool. Now, explain to me the white noise thing. Let's walk through that.
Well, it's this part of it is actually a digitally created white noise inside the pedal. And when the red button is switched to be so that the main pad is a white noise thing rather than tap tempo, you just press it and you get a burst for as long as you press. So it's a sort of quite a sort of primitive thing like that.
That's amazing,
to do
though.
fills or whooshing noises with the cutoff or whatever like that.
Can we play to this? Do you think you can hang with it? Let me know the volume you need. Like, let's use it as a click.
Give me some more volume of that.
And let me...
I think that'll probably work. Yeah, we'll try that.
I'm going to ditch the delay and keep it pretty straight.
There we go. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that'll work.
This tests your drumming abilities.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, play along. Sick. This is my favorite thing. mean, it's like those.
Dang.
It's so good.
That was dope.
That was so. You stayed on it.
Thanks.
You stayed on it until I went nuts, and it was like a beat ahead. I just love it.
Anyway,
David,
that was cool.
These are like
sick.
such
Awesome.
creative tools to like. I've been a long time fan of drum synthesizers. I have a ton of like these old quirky, Boss Clapper, the Amdeck. I have all these old weird things. I even have like the original Color Sound, like the horrible things from like the 70s that are just so glitchy.
The drum machine they did. You talking about? Which is rare as it gets.
The Gigster.
I mean, really, that's got to be fantastic.
It's so horribly amazing. Like,
I mean, that's all the music you need, basically, isn't it?
Yeah. Everything that we just did was like
Bossa Nova.
It's just so great. Yeah, it's like the old organ bossa nova vibe, but you put what you want over it. These pedals are so cool. I mean, I don't even want to call them pedals. They're more like pedals feel so limiting. These are just super cool devices.
Well, we're just trying to inspire people to keep playing. That's the bottom line of it. Just keep playing, write a new riff, write another hit single, just keep playing. And whatever inspires you to do that. That's the whole...
I love the term.
That's why we're all doing it.
You said the snare chop is like a digital sketch pad. Is that what you said?
A rhythmic sketch
sketch pad.
Yeah.
It's so good.
We take some shortcuts and stuff to...
Yeah.
So you get a groove going quickly and easily.
Yeah. What were you saying, Joshua?
Can we hear the bossa nova setting? Ryan from 60 Cycles.
Sorry, I'm not laughing.
Right, wait, Ryan from 60 Cycles asking?
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
cool.
I have so many thoughts. Let's go back in the past. Let's fly into the past a little. I want to come back to these new ones again. Let's talk about the Minibar. So I was at NAMM when you released this. This caused various questionable uses of bodily fluids.
Yes.
Now, if you're not familiar, let's look down. The Minibar, it's a liquid analyzer. I thought this was a joke, and then I saw who put it out, and I said, "No, this is David. Like, he did this." So you unscrew the cap. It's like that didn't work.
It's half a contact lens container.
Yeah. It's okay. That's how you see. That's your right eye.
Oh,
okay. And
Yeah, that's right.
pour liquid here. So for this, we poured some Topo Chico in it.
Good choice. Yeah.
And basically, correct me if I'm wrong. This is a like an op amp hard clipping circuit missing a resistor, and when you pour the liquid in, liquid has different resistances or like chemical makeups or whatever you want to call it, and your sound travels through the liquid's part of the circuit. And so if you put Topo Chico or nail polish remover, or if you throw up in it, I'm not advising that.
Gross.
There's things like PP.
Stop.
Bodily fluids does void the warranty, though. But
as it
who knows what you may put in. The current favourite here is E-Vape nicotine liquid, which is amazing in it. Really great.
So I heard about a Halloween thing. You want to walk us through that?
Yeah. Well, among all these bodily, you can imagine the selection of bodily fluids that people suggest putting in it. And we thought for Halloween, we've got to do blood. Let them have blood in the minibar, So it was the other week, whenever it was, and I thought I can't ask anyone else here to give their blood for this
as an
job.
employer, it's not smart to ask employees for blood.
Not
Though
blood, no.
That has not stopped
So,
you.
but I got hold of a pinprick thing, and they go sharp scratch. You go, ooh, and they press this little device, So I brought that in, did it, and I'm like squeezing away, and you get like about a drop of blood out, and a bit more if you squeeze. So I'm squeezing, and I'm not getting enough out to fill the thingy. I mean, you need like 4 drops. and I'm smearing, and there's blood everywhere all over my hands, and everyone is standing around staring in like amazement at this gory scene unfolding, and the door opens, in comes the building manager with the post, and we're like, not a good time, and get them out quickly, So we, in the end, we did terrible things to the blood, trying to make it go further, and it was too horrible to let people experience.
How did and it didn't sound right, or you couldn't?
Well, the basic problem there was not enough blood, really. So we've done a bunch of things. We've got some mercury recently.
You keep saying You keep saying phrases that would make really great Iron Maiden album titles, like "Let There Be Blood," "Not Enough Blood."
It's just all in the day of making guitar pedals, But we got a hold of some mercury. Mercury was a popular suggestion.
That's safe.
We
What?
And we put some of that in it recently. Sounded pretty great. Of course, it sounds quite heavy metal. Can I say
See,
that?
I was going to say blood. Blood has a high amount of iron, and that would be more of a metal tone.
Yeah, it's all about. I mean, this is all chemistry, Josh. Here, it's are there any spare ions to conduct things?
David, I swear to you, right now, that if I'm ever in London again, I will provide you enough blood to try the Minibar.
That's great to hear, Joshua. Thank you.
On my word.
I'm curious. How are you going to go about providing enough? You're going to like...
I mean, I have plenty of blood.
Well, that's fair. Like, are we going to punch you in the nose and give you a bloody nose? We're going to draw it out of here?
Various options,
So let's listen to the Topo Chico, because you've tried a lot, and you said certain things are like chunkier or thicker, and so is this resistor? Is it like the gain resistor to the op amp? Is it? It's allowing it's clipping the rails of the op amp, or not? Kind of. Okay, so
exactly, yeah, and the opacity of the liquid, how much light goes through it, decides where the band passes, whether it's going to be trebly or bassy. So coffee is low gain because it has it has lots of free ions, and not much light passes through it.
So it's a combination of the liquid resistance plus the opacity of the light.
Exactly, yeah. So vodka is really ragged, high gain, quite a brittle, trebly sound. Add a drop of black coffee and it'll kind of bring out the bass a bit more. Or sake and soy sauce is one thing I thought up. And it just makes me think about my tone in a different way.
Yeah.
And it may lead to some... I think I play differently through sake and soy sauce compared to if I put washing up liquid in it.
You need to find the liquid that's most Dumble-esque.
Oh.
Yeah, yes.
Have you tried motor oil?
Well, oil is tricky. I haven't, basically, but I've tried olive oil, and it makes no sound at all.
Was it low heat or high heat olive oil?
This was room temperature.
Okay.
Was it cold
because
press?
I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but liquids change. There's temperature things here. I would feel like conductively.
Yeah. I mean, I poured my coffee into it, which is kind of hottish, but I've never other than that not really.
Like I want to hear milk, like really bad.
Do we have any
milk would be low gain. I think quite bassy.
Would it be creamy?
I think it would,
Let's listen to the Topo Chico. It's Topo Chico. I mean, the taste is like peppery and kind of like.
Oh right, I've not had it.
Yeah,
it's got plenty of highs. Yeah, plenty of treble.
Topo Chico is like LaCroix or everywhere in England. It's like, do you want tap or sparkling? And so it's a very spicy sparkling water. Right? Is that correct?
That's
correct.
Fair?
Yeah.
Totally fair.
Yeah.
Peppery's a great word.
That's good.
It has a pepper, like That's the sound of pepper.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're hearing that through the liquid.
Yeah. If you don't have a Minibar, you need to buy one and you'll never be bored. Like, just leave it's insane. I need to
It sounds really good if you just take your chewing gum out and smear it, push that into it.
It's crazy.
Pretty gnarly.
For real?
Yeah, yeah.
Whoa.
Or I mean, we're saying this is an experiment, you know.
Yeah.
We're not really exactly sure what's going on, but we're learning about it, and we think people should try things out. Go to the shops and buy something.
Of all that I know historically with pedals, this is in truest definition, the first like open source idea. Like there's things with like modules and all, but that doesn't count. This is truly, here's the thing, add your thing. It's never been done. How did the idea happen?
Very interactive.
Tell me the apple falling on your head moment for this. The Isaac Newton.
Well, I can't remember exactly. The idea was been around for a long time, and I was always trying to make it work in a way that was really usable, and had different possibilities, and it never quite came together. And it was just before that NAMM, where I realized the way of doing it just in a simple way to replace the feedback resistor in the circuit, but also to do this light thing, which really helped take it to a different level. And it just seemed to be a great way to get your own sound, your own particular sound, and you when you've got it, you seal it up, and that's your sound. And it'll, I don't know if it evaporates anywhere, but it might need topping up after a while.
Yeah.
But it's the most interactive pedal, I believe, that there is.
There's nothing close. There's nothing close to being like open source, using like a software metaphor. Yeah, I mean, it's amazing.
How do you clean it? Like, obviously you can dump it out, but
I think you could run it under the tap. We do. We take a lot of care to seal it and all that kind of thing. It only takes like about 3 or 4 drops of liquid in it to fully cover the contacts, which isn't very much. So I would just clean it out with a tissue.
I will fill it with blood.
Or a damp tissue is fine for cleaning it. I
want to move on, but I want to say everything in me wants to film ASAP just an episode on, because it's been years, and I want to bring it back, and like I want to pour it full of tears.
Yeah.
How do you do like, who's gonna cry? There's all these problems.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure
all
it
the
out.
comments I was reading about it that people put. I think the best one, someone suggested on quite a heavy rock player, said the best sound is the tears of thine enemies. That is pretty
tears of
majestic.
thine enemies. Let's play
God.
Let's play the Bleep. This is a classic to me, like, when it comes to glitchy fuzzes. So you have things like the first commercially successful glitchy fuzz is like the ZVEX Fuzz Factory. But if you look at it wrong, it changes settings. Like, it's very frail. Like, it's not going to break. It's just nearly impossible to dial in your settings. So the Bleep, first of all, watch the lights on it. Like, you went all the way. Like, it wasn't enough to hear it. You can see it.
Yeah, in the background on the some sci-fi film from the 80s, and you get all these meaningless lights in the background just kind of jumping around on the panels. Yeah. And tape machines spinning a lot, doing God knows what. Yeah. That kind of stuff, So you've got to have some random lights, that kind of. But it also illustrated what the pedal was doing. So it seemed to fit.
Walk me through the controls. Of it. Walk me through the controls, and we'll do a jam, and then we'll give away some strings.
Well, there's the big knob is it's called the overtone knob, and it's a trebly or bassier, but in a much more exciting way than that description. There's the volume knob next to it. Above it is the bleep control, which upsets one of the chips inside as you turn it, and it turns it into this weird repeating oscillation that happens. You usually happen at the end of the note as the note dies away. And you can change the pitch of it with the overtone knob and the speed of it. And so it's really, with the lights as well, it's like a little creature.
And then
kind
you
of
have a
chattering away
mod
to you.
and a rate button.
Yeah, the mod is turning the overtone automatically up and down, kind of thing. And oh, sorry, that's the rate button. I got it the wrong way around. These are Eagle controls. It comes with an Eagle controller, and the mod is one way it speeds up the rate when you press it, like speeding up a Leslie cabinet or something. And the other way, you do the overtone control with your foot using the Eagle. I'm wondering if I hope it's all set right.
So I have rate and mod pushed in.
Turn the bleep knob down to minimum and you should hear it clearly. Are you getting that?
Yeah. All right, let's do a jam. Let's do a D, C, E sharp, or F, my lord. Yeah. I'm not a piano player. So I'll start it over. I'll count it in. So 1, 2, 3, 4. One, two, three. Yeah. Such a good
that's
pedal.
the bleep.
Are there buttons on the front of the enclosure?
Yeah, so these Igors,
So
there's
is that
like
5 buttons. I mean 5.
Yeah, it's like 5 controls.
Knobs.
All the smalls have that, where there's like these functions on the front. Let's give away a pack of strings.
Okay.
Joshua.
Addison usually has something to say here, and I don't know what it is. So what I'm going to do is ask you a question from this sheet of questions I have of Ernie Ball trivia. It's Ernie Ball trivia time.
You did it.
I did. Was that good enough?
That was perfect. That's all you needed.
Hybrid slinky strings are a combination of these two highly regarded slinky gauge sets. What are they? throw the answer in the chat. The first person to get the correct answer in our server wins a whole box of Ernie Ball strings.
We're going to do one more jam, and we'll have that answer, and you get a whole box. So, David, we got time for one more thing here. Look down at the board. What do you want to talk about? You pick. There's so many goodies.
Well, I've got to say that the Reverb X on the far left.
I was hoping you'd say it. Yeah. It's insane.
I am enjoying that after it's been out for years, and I still love it. I've got to say it's partly just luck, part of it, how it turned out.
I think this is a crazy statement there's a lot of reasons I'm saying this. It's small, tons of controls, Igor control. If you're looking for like experimental ambient crazy, it doesn't get any better for the size and price of this. It's so unique. The stuff that you can do with it is crazy.
I like the idea of like adding some texture to the reverb, but keeping your guitar sound really clean or wherever you want it. But the reverb itself, you're manipulating and like making it crumble away, or like you're about to break through at the edge of the universe into some new realm, you know. But then you put the gate on it, and it turns it into like it's been sampled, like top and tailed.
And then dark is like a low pass.
It's just a darker flavor reverb with a bit more pre-delay. So I'm really keen on I don't think it's necessary to have all these lots and lots of different types of reverb.
Yeah.
You know, you turn your reverb on, and usually you ask the drummer, "What do you think that is?" And he just says reverb. He doesn't know if it's hall or room or whatever. So I just thought put a bright immediate one on and a darker one with a bit of pre-delay. You know?
Yeah.
That's all that is.
So the gate, I'm going to demonstrate. You have a distortion. I'm going to make the size big.
And you got the input knob up high, haven't you, Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the harder I play, this reverb busts out of it, almost like a reverse ducking. So if you watch me play here. Let's jam on that, and then
that's great.
Addison's gonna jet out.
What?
At 4?
That's
right?
next week.
Is that next week?
That's next week. Yeah.
I thought we had to stop it. Oh
no,
we might go 15 over.
All right, let's go.
Because I like David.
Heck
All right,
yeah.
here we go.
We got a couple questions from the comments too.
We'll do this jam, give those strings away, and do a Q&A with David.
Cool.
This is perfect. I'll make up a really dumb progression and pray that Driller hangs on. All right. I'm so fond of this pedal. I don't ever say that. I think it's this casual, proper English thing you have going on here. Like here in the Midwest, we don't say things like fond. But I've been hanging out with you for an hour, and I just want to say like, what are some words I want to say like, fond and.
Oh
and,
boy,
like
David would know.
I don't know, just all those words.
Lovely.
Blood sausage is a word I've been wanting to say.
Yep. No salt.
No salt. Like I just. So this is such a great pedal. Blood. I said blood sausage. I'm at a real loss of. I haven't been to England in a while. It's been like 3 years.
I've never been to
We've
England.
been
You guys talk
missing
about
it.
it.
I love London. London's fun. It's like any big city. Like I had this streak where I was like there a bunch, and then I just found myself wandering around. Like it's like where you get too much of a good thing, you want to go back home. Yeah, I had that happen, so I'm ready to come back now.
It can be kind of intense. I think.
Yeah, it's a beautiful city. I mean, the thing about London, I remember going originally into some of the guitar shops on Denmark Street, and it's like. Talking to them, and their building is older than our country. You know, the guitar shop is older than America. Not that it was there as a guitar shop, but it's funny. It's like
just the building.
He was, I think it was No Tom Guitars on Denmark. He was like, "Yeah, I wanted to hang up a guitar, and I had to pass it through like the historical society because our building was built in like 1720." That was all.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing because you come over here and like the oldest thing is a truck stop. Right. It's like a truck stop in an old motel, you know. It's like that motel was built in the 50s, son. You need to respect.
There's Andy's guitars on Denmark Street.
Yeah.
At the back of that, there's an old blacksmith that is there from a very, very long time ago, like big lumps of stone where the fire was and stuff like this. Oh. And I think people rehearsed in there for a bit.
One time I went through, is that one of the shops? I went through the back with the owner, and there was a courtyard, and we went into like this apartment, and the Sex Pistols had slept in there and painted all over the walls. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like, and then there's
they would hang out down there a lot, and
there's so many
in the
weird
early days, I think.
So many weird things. Let's give these strings away.
Yeah. Okay. The question, as a reminder, was hybrid slinky strings are a combination of these two highly regarded slinky gauge sets. What are they? The answer was super and regular slinkies. And the winner was Satan, I think.
Satan?
What?
Satanan. Saatanan. Satanan.
I know we've been
Not
getting
Satan.
We've been getting a lot of views, and I go, I've been trying to. If you can break through that getting into hell thing, it's hard to get viewership there. And I'm glad to see that Satan is like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not easy. It's not easy to get those views.
Invite him on the show.
There's a ton of interference. It's like, how do you get broadcasting into hell? It's like there's all these legal issues.
We have yet to find God on our channel.
Yeah, I mean, he's busy.
Satanan, please email me at the JHS show at jhspedals.com. Send me what kind of strings you want and your shipping info.
I love this. So let's let Joshua take back over, and we'll let you answer questions, David, about your amazing pedals.
Excellent.
Stingers. Forget we have those. David, here's a couple short answer ones. Do you do commissions for custom pedals?
No, is the answer. I'm so
Great
sorry.
answer.
Do the expression Oreos work with any expression unit? The Igors. Do the Igors work with any expression input?
They don't, but they do work with some. And for a while, we sold an Eagle kind of independently with a 1/4-inch jack that was. I used it on some Electro-Harmonix pedals, and it worked good with that. And so we were selling this, and but loads of people were saying, "I've got a so-and-so. Does it work with that?" And we were just bogged down with trying to find out, does it work with that?
But essentially, it's a variable resistor, right?
Yeah, it's not a sophisticated thing inside. There's not many parts to it, but just gives the real-time control. A bit of real-time control is all I ask for. It doesn't need to be ultra precise like a wah wah. I just want to change something while I'm playing, how I feel it. And it does that. And it's light and it like weighs nothing. And we've been making them for a while now, and it's all, but the design has got a more streamlined and all this kind of stuff.
Nice.
But the answer is only a bit with other pedals.
Good. Speaking of the Igors, how durable are they?
Now they're very durable. We've got a new technique of making them where they're called, in the workshop here, they're called golf shoe Eagles because it has spikes as well as glue. It's really, really hard trying to get one apart if you ever need to. You have to get a drill out at the moment.
This is kind of back to the design of the pedals. Hold on, let me find the question. The Reverb X reminds me of a very specific kind of design, and I maybe associate them from being a kid. Curious about the influence. So we talked a little bit about the why and how, but can you talk about what influence you had? Like what's inspiring the different designs?
Well, in terms of the sounds, we just wanted something that didn't have a really wide range frequency sound. We wanted to like trim off bits of it because it made it sound more musical. So there's over a long oscillation time, it could change gradually and develop a little bit, just a little bit of this sort of thing. So we worked a long time on that. And with the enclosure, I always think, why not have top panel jacks, even on a mini pedal? So I worked out how to do this and still keep it really, really narrow. So nothing on the side, no sockets on the side or anything. And also it sits up a little bit, sort of presents itself to you. And with the artwork, that's Rich DeMeo from New York, Staten Island. He's our graphics guy, knocking it out of the park with, he does all our stuff. He's just top. So yeah, that's the basic design of it, which we carried over with the reverb, and who knows what may come out in the future X line.
That's great. And this will be my last question. Why did you start building pedals? What inspired you to start making pedals?
Well, I was years ago, I worked as a journalist writing for musician magazines, and I was playing in bands and all this stuff. And so any new pedal that came out, I would just, I'm having that. So I had to get hold of it. And I was reviewing them and stuff. So I had loads and loads of all kinds of strange stuff. And I was doing lots of sessions recording for people and taking these out. And then I was getting them modified because some of them I thought, actually using them for real, you could improve it a bit, so friends and people I knew would modify them. And then I was actually commissioning them to be made from scratch as well. And round about early 2000s, I thought, could I not have a look at doing that myself? And I was in this job where for 2 evenings a week, I had to sit there for about 2 or 3 hours and do nothing at all. So I got all these textbooks out and I just worked for like about 18 months. I was paid time and a half to work through these textbooks on electronics. And then I got a circuit off the internet, the Electra distortion it was, and I put it together and it worked. I think it worked first time, which is probably the only time that's ever happened to me. And I couldn't believe it. And so I just went on from there. I thought, what else can you make then? And that's all I'm doing right now. That's the story of my life.
Nice.
You're living the American dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I tell you, it's pretty fun, especially if they work.
That's the thing. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So we did an episode with you. Everyone should go watch it. Required watching. Who is Rainger FX, I believe. That's what it's called. It's an early.
We did over in London.
It's an early one, yeah. We came to your flat, hung out. It was amazing. And then you had this, which is my favorite tone bender. You had the same one that you bought back in the day. So we connected on that. And then I had just met you, and you had just basically collaborated with one of the greatest pedal companies historically
I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it's like the second pedal of importance ever made is the Tone Bender, early or mid '65, and it is such a significant part of pedals. You collaborated with them. What does this feel like to you?
Can you imagine when I finished making this, when we made this, and they were in the shop, and I went to the window of Macari's, which is Colour Sound Central.
Yeah, you walked up to the shop, and the big window full of pedals.
Looking in the window, there's the lineup of all the Tone Benders, with the one we made in the middle.
The feeling. Look, everybody, look at this pedal. So this is
the photographs.
Look at that. Freaking Bender, a Tone Bender by Rainger FX. I have an early one that doesn't have the expression.
Oh yeah, no, they're all good. It has it's my original Tone Bender, reverse engineered, the one I bought in 1981.
So it's
that I've just used so much on so many records and stuff. That one, you've got it.
I have serial number 6.
And so it's exactly the same as that. And Anthony Macari, you know, he's very particular about it all. But when you turn the knob up really high, the gain knob, right up to 4, it suddenly flips over to being the Frankenstein circuit, with all the controls flipping over to being Frankenstein's sounds.
There's nothing cooler than like that kind of story to me. Like the collaboration with Color Sound is such an amazingly important thing, and now you're part of that. You've built an awesome company. You've built an incredible company. How many years is this for you?
This now is coming up to 14, I think.
That is so cool. I'm at 15.
Wow.
You're at 4. That's
Are
so
you?
Cool. It's so cool. I love it.
Wow.
Any of you guys have any questions before we get off here? Anybody? I've loved these pedals. The jams have been a blast. The new ones, Breakbox here. Everyone go check it out. And Snare Trap. These are just so stinking cool. I don't even need a guitar to play this. I don't need a guitar. I'm not even going to play guitar. That's all. Yeah, it's been phenomenal. I loved having you on. Everyone go watch Who is Rainger FX. It's more of a biographical look at your story and stuff, and we had a lot of fun with that. It's an early episode in the show's history. Anything you want to say? Like, give us like your shameless plug.
Check out our pedals. It's a load of fun. It's what I do every weekend. For most of the weekend, I'm playing through a selection of our pedals. It's just a selfish thing. It's just what I want to hear at the weekend and what I want to use with a band.
Yeah, I do have a question, David. Are you still?
Can I
get
more shame into it? I don't know if I can.
No, you can. That's perfect. Are you still playing and gigging?
Am I? Sorry.
Are you still playing and gigging?
When I can.
Yeah.
I've just my band split up because the drummer went back to Hungary.
Okay.
Which is a shame. So I'm sort of looking around, but we're very busy with bringing out all these new pedals. So that's something that I'm trying to not put on the back burner. I'm trying to still do it.
So if
I did a gig earlier this year.
If there are any drummers in London, just DM Rainger FX on Instagram.
You should just move to London, idea. Addison.
I'm coming over. I'm moving.
So I want everybody, go follow him on Instagram. That's a great start. Rainger is Rainger. Rainger FX on Instagram. I'm going to do this Minibar thing in 2023. I'm going to put it through an exhaustive scientific test of weird fluids.
Blood.
It's going to involve Joshua.
I'll mail you some mercury.
Mail me. That won't go well. Mail me. Joshua and I are going to go to a parts store and use all kinds of automotive things like antifreeze, windshield wiper. I just want to go the whole, and then we'll analyze. It's got to be done.
Someone's got to do it.
And I think it should be an hour long. I mean, it's a thing where you're like, holy smokes, this matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does matter.
Okay.
Yeah. The saltier, the less overdrive. And bubbles means more overdrive.
Interesting.
Joshua, you have a knife. Let's wrap it up.
I am ready.
I'm suddenly quite scared.
HR. All right, David, it's been a blast.
Thanks, David.
Thank you, David.
Always love hanging out with you, whether it's over a weird fiber optic cable under the ocean or in person. It's always a pleasure. You're a blast. You're one of the most creative people that have ever made pedals. I love that you do whatever you want to do. And I am your biggest fan in America. I don't care what anybody says.
Thank you so much, Josh. It's been really fun and hanging out with all you guys.
All right. Well, bye-bye. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Bye.